Happening now, a domestic incident leads to a felony arrest early Wednesday. A meth dealer violates his probation, is arrested for a second time.
And I'm Dakota Hunter in the First Defense Weather Center, where we have a slight risk defined by the Storm Prediction Center for catching a few strong to severe thunderstorms this afternoon, and the temperatures kind of moderate back down to about where they should be for this time of the year. We'll talk about it all coming up.
And Jamestown redevelopment continues as a Buffalo investor looks to acquire the Furniture Mart building. Let us hear from you in our new and noteworthy segment. That's News Now for Thursday, May 3rd, 2018.
Live and on demand from the Chautauqua Audio Works studios in downtown Jamestown. This is your source for breaking news. WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Justin Gould. A live look at our 3rd Street camera right outside of our downtown studios where it is 69 degrees. Our weather center is on storm watch right now. A look at all of our top stories is coming up, but first, the man of the hour, chief forecaster Dakota Hunter, with a first look at our weather.
Hey, good Thursday, everybody, and good Thursday, Justin. And we definitely do have a severe weather risk this afternoon. Let's go right into it. Let's take a look at Doppler vision to start off with. This is on the main graphic system on Lynx 1. And you can see we've had a few passing showers throughout the morning hours. Of course, everybody, I think, got woken up by those couple rumbles of thunder that we had, of course, early this morning. And it was a busy morning in the Weather Center because we were watching those storms this morning. And now it looks like the severe risk is kind of rolling over into this afternoon. So we have a slight risk defined by the Storm Prediction Center, but so far nothing is going on across the area this morning, and I think that'll remain the story probably throughout the early morning hours, and then we probably get into probably just a few more showers as we go throughout the afternoon. So the forecast for today, mostly cloudy on average, and showers and thunderstorms will develop in the afternoon hours with a cold front that's approaching. There is a slight risk defined by the Storm Prediction Center for the southern tier for catching a few strong to severe thunderstorms with gusty winds. 71 near the immediate Lake Erie shoreline, going to 75 inland. Now, of course, when you get a rain shower, that's going to cool the air down, and I think some of these temperatures might be a little bit fought today because, of course, you get a rain shower that cools you down, and also we have to look at the sunshine as too. The sunshine, if we see any sun, may fuel some of this thunderstorm development, so we're going to keep watching this. We'll give you all the details on that coming up in that full weather segment a little bit later on in the show.
All right, Dakota, thank you. A 27-year-old man allegedly held a woman against her will was arrested on Wednesday morning at a residence on Linwood Avenue in Jamestown. Police said that Christopher Belin held a woman against her will and destroyed her cell phone by tossing it out of a second-story window. Police claim that Belin was discovered hiding in an attic inside of the residence when they arrived. He's currently facing a felony charge of third-degree criminal mischief. He was arraigned on Wednesday morning and remanded to Chautauqua County Jail. And a convicted meth dealer who reportedly violated his felony probation has been arrested again. Cattaraugus County Sheriff's report that 38-year-old Ryan Pista, who pleaded guilty to a third-degree attempted unlawful manufacturing of meth, that is a Class E felony, back in September of 2016, was arrested once again. The original indictment that spurred his current legal problems occurred more than 2 years ago when Pista was arrested on a raid on Commercial Street by members of the Southern Tier Drug Task Force. A media report documenting the 2016 raid said that police discovered lab equipment and chemicals for the manufacturing of methamphetamine. And one of the nation's largest cable, internet, and phone providers may be in some legal trouble after the New York State's Public Service Commission announced yesterday that they are seeking legal action against the company. In April, the commission said that Spectrum's parent company, Charter, did not meet the terms of its agreement with the state to expand broadband networks and fined the company $1 million. Now, Governor Andrew Cuomo's office announced on Wednesday that the state will not tolerate abusive corporate practices or a failure to deliver service to the people. Press Secretary Danny Lever said in a statement, large and powerful companies will be held to the same standard as all other businesses here in New York State. The Spectrum franchise is not a matter of right, but is a license with legal obligations, and If those are not fulfilled, that license should be revoked. The original deal to expand Spectrum's networks was signed back in 2016 when Charter acquired Time Warner Cable. And a Buffalo developer is making an aggressive push to acquire Furniture Mart building here in downtown Jamestown. Our Ryan Hedrick spoke with the developer, Carl Palladino.
The building right behind me, the old Furniture Mart building, was erected in 1917, and here in 2018, it is still the envy of many people, especially out-of-town developers like Carl Palladino, who owns Ellicott Development. He spoke with WNY News Now exclusively 2 weeks ago. He said he'd like to work with the city, but not at the current $22.5 million price tag the city has attached to that building.
You know, we've had some times when we really thought we'd be able to do something. At the present time, it appears that there's a new pathway open to possibly develop the property. We're working on it diligently and seeing if we could put together all the pieces that it takes to develop a building of that size and nature. And it's a complicated exercise.
Now, Palladino also told us another one of his concerns is the slow economic growth in the city of Jamestown. He told us that you have to have tenants for the building, and of course, you have to have jobs.
It goes to politics, and you know, when the people go to vote, are they thinking about that? Are they thinking about whether they want more of Andrew Cuomo's dishonest government, or they want something for that, you know, that's really going to strive to lower taxes and lower these burdens?
The old Furniture Mart building will lose its largest tenant in September in the connection when it moves down the street to the Lynn building. Reporting from the corner of 2nd and Washington, a stone's throw away from the old Furniture Mart building that, for all intents and purposes, will sit vacant in several months. I'm Ryan Hedrick, WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Ryan, thank you. Now, it's important to note that there are a few legal firms and other offices in the building. No word on their future status at that site. And voters surveyed for a recent political poll favored incumbent Andrew Cuomo to beat challenger Cynthia Nixon in New York's upcoming Democratic primary. The poll released by Quinnipiac University shows 50% of those surveyed support Cuomo for the Democratic nomination, while 30% backed Cynthia Nixon. Nixon, a former Sex and the City actress, said young people, women, and people of color are going to stop showing up for the Democratic Party if the Democratic Party doesn't start showing up for them. Cuomo's lead is shrinking slowly, though, that according to a similar poll released last month, which gave him a 31% lead over Nixon. New York's Democratic primary is September 13th. Coming up on the other side, we're hearing from you. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments below. Our Ryan Hedrick will join me in the studio to discuss the day's news right after this.
Where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now.
The Fitness Bunker in Lakewood is a locally owned and operated club that cares about your health and wellness. They invest in it. Right now, $16 for 16 days will get you in the door. Lose 4 pounds, your next month is on them. Try a green zone class and maximize your performance. Hot yoga, 24/7 access. Simply walk into Fitness Bunker in Lakewood right now on Summit Avenue. Make an investment in your health and wellness. Fitness Bunker in Lakewood. Find them on Facebook.
The weather is heating up, and so are the deals at Express Bike and Auto, right here in Jamestown, located at 1761 Foot Avenue Extension. They are your one-stop shop for all of your vehicle, ATV, and motorcycle needs. They even sell vehicles, and guess what? Financing is available. So what are you waiting for? Get to Express Bike and Auto right here in Jamestown at 1761 Foot Avenue Extension now.
And welcome back to News Now. It's time for a look at our new and noteworthy segment. Tina, Elizabeth, Tracy, all checking in. Good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us here on News Now. Ryan Hedrick.
Always adjusting something on it.
I know. This man is never prepared. No, I'm just
Ben,
kidding.
the news sound.
You are prepared. You just are a busy man.
Busy, and I was, I know I'm not supposed. This is my motivational
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. Motivational Thursday.
cup. That's good. It's your warm coffee?
I just made Ben a Facebook star.
I don't
People
know.
are going to love Ben.
So you don't mind drinking, is that hot coffee?
Yes.
You don't mind drinking hot coffee on like a warm day?
No, not at all.
See, this morning, like I had hot coffee at my house and I like put it in ice and stirred it around and
Right.
stuff because I'm not a big fan of hot
This
coffee.
is going to be
on
your
hot
best
days.
summer ever. That's why you're thinking cool everything. Cool iced coffee.
Gosh. We don't need to talk about
Okay.
that.
All right. Do we? All right.
No, we don't.
We won't
don't.
talk about
no,
that.
No, I'm in charge of this show.
Okay,
No,
let's
I'm
do it.
just-
Let's do it. No,
So-
you know what? Carl Palladino's statements to me are pointed.
Yeah.
And, you know, it goes to show you what the power of negotiation can do
Mm-hmm.
for a man like Carl Palladino who has had so much success. If you look on Ellicott Development's ongoing projects, right now they have hundreds of millions of dollars of projects in the sky, tons of cranes in the sky in Buffalo. And this guy, you know, wants to bring some of that leverage. But I'm being told that the DRI funds that 10 businesses qualified for here in Jamestown, he did not receive those funds. So now
Right.
he's pissed.
Right.
They're going to level that building, I would imagine. I don't know
You
why.
think so?
Yeah, I don't
I
think
mean, it's a huge building.
it is.
Right?
It's an eyesore, though. It looks like it's falling apart.
See, the thing is, you have a fine line, right, between Jamestown's history
Right.
and the future.
Right.
And, you know, take our building, for example, the Spain building,
Mm-hmm.
formerly known as the Willow Bay Commerce Center. This
Right.
building has been here for 100+ years. So don't knock it down, in my opinion.
It's nice, though. It's not crumbling. It's not.
Right. They've taken care of it.
They have.
The Lynn Corporation and the people before them have done a good job at keeping the building up. Same thing for the Furniture Mart building. You know, you have to look at it. This is a historic building. Do we keep it, or do we knock it down? Well, I've seen the inside a few times. It looks dated. It's an old building, right? The question is, you know, is there a way to rehab it? Is there going to be a space for it, or do you knock it down? You build something else there along the railroad tracks, and you know the riverfront is right there as well, which is going to be one of the biggest landmarks, really, the National Comedy Center and what they're doing at the Riverwalk.
You would hope that they'd redevelop the water, and you'd hope they'd redevelop around the water, like we talked about yesterday. But you know, what does Carl Palladino do? If you dump $22.5 million into the building, he wants that money back. He's not a business guy. He's not in this business to make Jamestown aesthetically nice again. He's in this
Right.
business to make
Make
money,
money.
turn a profit,
Right.
and get residents in there, get commercial residents in
Right.
there, and get business residents
Which
in there.
helps the city.
Correct. It helps him. It helps the city. It expands the portfolio of Ellicott Development. And quite frankly, if he were to turn the Furniture Mart building around, it would probably be one of the largest turnarounds in his corporation's history. I mean, you're talking about a city coming back from literally the dead. The 70s is the last time we saw any type of economic vitality in the city whatsoever.
On
and
a
it's been
mass scale.
dormant. On a mass
Right.
scale, correct.
I mean, the city has done a good job with individual localized projects.
Right.
But overall, talking
Collectively.
about all of downtown and or all of the west side, all of the north side, you know,
But have they appeased the downtown business owners? Because I bet if we were to walk after the show to each and every downtown business owner, I'm not going to call them out by name, but if we were to go to these specific shops off the record, they would tell us a lot of stuff
Right.
that the city makes it very difficult to operate a business downtown. You
Right.
want a
And
business
the
to flourish
state, too.
downtown. They don't do anything to accommodate
Right.
or to meet them halfway.
and it's really, you look at, a lot of people say, you know, they would go out on a Friday night if certain restaurants would stay open longer.
Yeah, you
We've
can't get any
seen-
food
no.
here Sunday night
Right, after
or Saturday
like,
night after 9 or 10. That's
right,
ridiculous.
they close. And the reason why they close is because no one goes
Right.
after that time.
Right.
People go out, they eat, and they go home.
So whose
we have to find-
responsibility? Whose responsibility is it then to meet them halfway,
Right.
to draw the people downtown?
And that's where it gets tricky.
You're right.
Because is it the city's job to bring entertainment down here? In my opinion, I don't think so. I think it's the city's job to maintain the roads, public safety, water, power.
Yeah, but
But-
they have departments for that.
Right. And they're doing that job. But like, how much interference do you want? I mean, the National Comedy Center, right? It's a public-private partnership. Public monies from the state and the city.
Right.
Right. It's all the same pot, really.
Right. It is
Just different.
Just different
hands on it.
avenues.
Right.
Yep.
And then you look at what the center is going to be doing. They're a private business. They're going to run it the way that they see fit, and the way they see fit, most likely, if you're thinking from a business perspective, is the way that their people, their customers, are going to give feedback.
I think it's very interesting that Vince DeJoy's job is not that of like maybe a regular development director. I think he has expanded and limited opportunities to promote the city, and I think based on other directors of development that I've interacted with in other cities, their responsibility transcends just development. It's about promotion. It's about facilitating the outer
and you see
half
that
to come to downtown.
With the Renaissance Corporation. They're in a sense a private entity, and that's why they're able to do certain things that a city government cannot. Conversation continues. If you have an opinion, let us know. We'll share it. We'll talk to you. Ryan will debate you if you want.
No, I won't.
He's up for that.
Jeez.
Chief forecaster Dakota
Picking
Hunter
on me again.
is
Get outta here.
watching the skies. It looks kind of gray right now. He's got the full forecast when we return.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
WNY News Now is sponsored by Chautauqua Audio Works, 3335 South Roberts Road in Fredonia. More than a music store. Call 679-4333. Call now, 679-4333. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. Now, your first defense forecast with Dakota Hunter.
Hey, welcome back to News Now. Let's kick off the weather segment with the Sky Vision Camera Network. That's on top of the Mill Creek Mall. Well, that's on the old water tower on top of the Mill Creek Mall. Traffic flowing pretty well on Peach Street. It's 74 degrees with a dew point of 63, so the humidity has came up a little bit from where it was yesterday with an east-southeast wind of around 9 miles per hour. On to the graphics, and we'll take another look at Doppler vision. You can see we've had a few passing rain showers throughout the morning today. Otherwise, it's been a dry morning so far, but that's going to change as we go throughout the afternoon hours. As we zoom the radar out, this is the next band of shower and thunderstorm activity that's going to be pushing in here this afternoon, and it actually stretches all the way down to the south. There's actually severe thunderstorm watches currently in effect for parts of Oklahoma, but so far so good in our area. So let's talk about what we can expect here. So here comes the first defense on everything you're going to need to know for today. So the timing of the strongest storms here is going to be between 3 o'clock this afternoon and about 9 o'clock tonight. That's going to be the main window to catch maybe a couple strong to severe thunderstorms. And so let's go ahead and time that out for you here on computer modeling. This is the HRRR, the High Res Rapid Refresh, and I think this model does the best job when it comes to severe weather like this. And you can see it's already picking up on that band of rain that comes in pretty much this afternoon. There's going to be a few pockets of moderate to heavy rain. I don't think that's going to be the issue. The issue is going to be this next round that comes in, and you can see we're going to have a little bit of a lull. Then this comes in. This is going to be the question of the day. This is around about 5 o'clock this afternoon. You can see this might have a chance to tap into some of the unstableness in the atmosphere, and if we see some sunshine, that may fuel thunderstorm development, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. It works out to the east, and you can see a few more patches of heavier rain pushing in, and then another round comes in. That might be strong to severe this afternoon, and then it all hightails out to the east. Now, the slight risk is in effect for all of pretty much of the southern tier, so let's take a look at the convective outlook, and you can see, now the Storm Prediction Center changed this from this morning. They actually reduced the slight slight risk down a little bit further south and put more people under the less than average marginal. So a slight risk from the southern tier out to the east. You can see kind of where this pretty much where this is. It's pretty much down here near the state line, and then, you know, Jamestown, you're kind of in this, and then it kind of goes all the way out into Cattaraugus County. And again, this is just a guide to kind of show you where the heaviest storms might be today, some of the strongest storms. And then damaging wind is going to be the main threat here. So let's take a look at the thunderstorm impacts, and you can see damaging wind is up there. You know, we'll probably see damaging wind gusts around 60 miles per hour, maybe dime-sized hail, not a big deal there, and then maybe some localized street flooding with some of the heavier downpours. But again, definitely damaging winds will be the main factor here. And again, we have to watch for peaks of sunshine because that may increase the thunderstorm potential as the sun breaks out and actually heats the ground. So for tomorrow, what can you expect for tomorrow? Well, temperatures are going to be still into the 70s, but we have another round of showers and thunderstorms to go to, and the wind really picks up southwest 25 to 35, gusts maybe to 50, so wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see a wind advisory issued there. And there actually is a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon because storms may tap into some of the stronger winds tomorrow afternoon, so we'll have to watch that. The next 7 days of your life are coming at you, brought to you by Quick Solutions, and there you see we go back down. Now, I took the rain out for Saturday, so it's going to be a dry Saturday, around 68 degrees, but the rain actually comes on Sunday, but it's around average, and then sunshine aplenty will take us into early next week with around average temperatures. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
First Defense Weather is sponsored by Quick Solutions of Jamestown. Count on Quick Solutions for printing, copying, mass mailings, and so much more. Part of your team. Learn more at QuickSolutionsUSA.com. That's QuickSolutionsUSA.com. Where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
Everything's made fresh here. We love to be outside, and it's nice inside if it's raining, so we have a choice.
Locals and non-locals agree that the Main Landing is quickly becoming a destination.
It's just so casual, and just the food is amazing.
I love the hamburgers.
But I really like the tuna I had.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at PhoneZoneShop.com. You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
I just love to be with the dogs, and I like to do them one at a time. They don't wait for 5 hours in my shop. We have full groom, which includes everything from A to Z, nails, of course brushing, any trimming that needs to be done. I do offer teeth brushing, which is a little extra. So if he takes me 2 hours, it's $40. If he takes me 3 hours, I still keep it down. As long as the dog comes back happy and not at the door, I'm happy.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Boy, thunderstorms. We haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Can we just get a sunshiny, bright, clear, cloud-free day? Is that too much to ask?
I think that was yesterday.
Is that too much to ask? Wow, we get them in increments.
We're talking about Jamestown and the status of the city, I suppose. That's kind of the big picture here. B. Bryant Butler chiming in. Well, paying jobs might help these issues. Just saying. Oh, yeah, you're pretty much right.
You know what's funny in this country? Go ahead.
Didn't County Executive George Barbella, I want to go back to his comment here. Didn't he say that there are jobs available right now?
Yeah, but there are a lot of, I would assume what B. Bryant Butler is talking about is the access to these jobs too. Right. Not only the well-paying jobs, but
you need the education.
No, not just that. There's no, public transportations take it for granted here. Everybody
has a car.
Or everybody doesn't.
Right.
So there's factions of people that have cars and there's factions of people that don't. In large cities, you have people making six figures that don't own a car because they have a subway or a bus or a bicycle.
Right.
There's no
and it's
access to public safety.
In such a rural area, public transportation. In a rural area, it's very difficult to implement something like that.
We had public transportation
but nobody
years ago.
Nobody used it.
We don't know that. I wasn't here. Were you born? You weren't even born then, were
you?
They
had the remainder of the CARTS system, which I think they still have now. I believe you can call a CARTS bus and they'll come pick you up. That's funded through the county. And
who the hell wants to wait for a carts bus?
Right, that's the thing. What else are you going to do?
What a broken system. I mean,
Right. Like,
this
if
is
no
what I'm
one's going to
talking
use
about.
it, why have it?
There are a lot of different entities working
Get a car.
that are not working together. It's just not, it's not that simple. If people don't have hope, not everybody can get a push up
Right.
or a hand
Okay,
up.
I agree with you there.
You know,
I agree.
and here's the thing: we don't need a bunch of, and I'm just going to say, we don't need senior living centers at every single corner in the city. We don't need liquor stores at every single corner in the city. What you need is you need some entities that are actually willing to provide help. I mean, there are temp agencies that do a great job here, but that's the operative word: temporary.
Right.
Temporary does not do anything for the stability of your mind, let alone your future.
Right, because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. You know, if it's a seasonal job, or, you know, a lot of these entities, you look at Chautauqua Institution, for example, right? My sister worked there during high school, during the summer, and that worked out great because she was in high school. But imagine someone who is an adult, so to speak, right? A professional. You know, this is your full-time job, and at the end of August, they tell you, okay, goodbye, because they don't need you anymore.
Right.
Because it's a temp.
But she was actually willing, I'm not going to put words in her mouth, but she was working towards something. She was getting experience that was tangible, that she was going to be able to use.
And really, a lot of kids in high school, and you see this like with the McDonald's, like the pay raise. You know, McDonald's is a great first job, not your full-time job.
Right.
And a lot of people get stuck in that. But you know, a lot of people, like when I was in high school, when I worked at Tops as a cashier. Great job, by the way. I actually enjoyed it. It was fun. When I worked as a cashier at Tops Friendly Markets in Falconer, right? They gave me too much money, probably. All I wanted was a stub to go and have fun on the weekends.
Right.
That's the whole point of having the job, and to pay for my car, which I was lucky enough to have a beater from my grandparents.
This is where I'm in favor of term limits, because when you get into term limits, you get into the nuances of not being complacent in government. Sam Teresi likes to walk around here and say, the Pearl City this, the Pearl City that. Well, the Pearl City spent how much money opening the panini shop? The guy's not even in business anymore. And nobody wants to answer that. Nobody wants to answer the questions of why people are fronting people money and nothing's materializing, nothing's growing. Again, you have to have a business philosophy. Our model here at WNY News Now cannot be duplicated in the city.
Right, because it's exclusive to us. We came up with the idea. So Lauren chiming in, she says need more internships and training opportunities. Yeah. And a lot of employers need more people.
Right.
We're looking for multiple salespeople right now.
But I'll tell you what.
And the people who come in,
they
don't last 2 days.
No, I don't want to get started on why the last one did. But listen, the opportunities for internships are great.
So if you want a job,
you have to meet somebody halfway, because we have incredible opportunities here. If somebody would just look past the fact that it's a startup operation.
Right. And that's what a lot of companies, in New York State, really hard to work. The company will meet you halfway.
Right.
They will meet you in the middle.
Right.
And if you take that jump, that leap of faith to try something, and you meet them there, spark.
I'm telling you, when you don't give somebody when you give somebody something and they don't earn it, they will never appreciate it, nor will they keep it.
Talking real quickly, Gary, talking on transportation, he says that it's a catch-22 in this county. It looks like the carts bus doesn't have transportation on the weekends, according to Gary. And he said, where'd that go? He said that it is.
Yeah, the carts bus.
Where'd it go? I don't know. He had something about the prices. Gary, did that comment go away?
The prices.
He said it looked like it was $3 for a carts bus, and I don't know. Do you take that comment away?
You can get an Uber driver. You could get an Uber driver for $5 in this city.
Right. Taxi cabs are really expensive.
Yeah, taxi cabs. Listen, I ordered a taxi cab when it was snowing. They never called me to say it was coming off the road. I had to wait for an hour and 15 minutes while I was stranded. Poor customer service. And again, when you're in business for so long and you take the community for granted, it's a business model that always fails, and the community ends up losing, not that business.
You can't get stuck in the rain if you follow chief forecaster Dakota Hunter. I know we don't have much time, Dakota, but today thunderstorms, right?
Yes, we have a slight risk defined for the southern tier by the Storm Prediction Center. It's mainly a gusty wind potential, and of course, we will all be here this afternoon, keeping our eyes on the radar, and of course, we will go live with severe weather coverage if needed.
Dakota is a boss at severe weather
We
coverage.
are watching the pizza delivery guy walk up to the door on camera. I can just feel it tonight. I can just feel it.
It's gonna be a party here.
In the office.
Oh gosh, I need my Tim Hortons.
Welcome to my life.
That's it for us today. Have a great day. We might see you later if we break in with weather coverage. You'll see it live here.